Restoring biodiversity is a long-term undertaking, but it will have ongoing benefits for the climate, the people, and the land. In Mexico, Cuauhtémoc's long-term plan to save the monarchs won't come to fruition until 2060. But he has a far more immediate problem. He needs to move the Oyamel forest to a higher elevation. But there are no higher mountains in the Monarch Reserve. So Cuauhtémoc is creating his new forest 90 miles away, high on the flanks of a volcano. If the climate keeps warming at the current rate, temperatures here should be perfect for the Oyamel fir trees by 2060. Working with the local people, he's planting seedlings now.
We are here at 3,800 meters, and the maximum altitude at which grows Oyamel is 3,500. So we move at least 300 meters further upwards in altitude.
The problem is, right now, it's still too cold at these elevations for Oyamel seedlings to naturally survive.
We are using the shade of this shrub to protect them from extreme temperatures. And even so, even with the protection of this shrub, they are stressed, but it is alive. And it needs to survive the next years, grow up, and eventually the monarchs will come. So this is a seedlings of the hope. Okay, listo.
Cuauhtémoc's ambitious plan will have knock-on benefits that extend well beyond monarchs.
To protect the monarchs, we need to protect the Oyamel. Actually, we are talking about protecting the ecosystem. We have to protect biodiversity as a whole, not only monarchs in particular.
If Cuauhtémoc can protect biodiversity in Mexico, the butterfly effect will reach as far as New York City and beyond. Climate change knows no borders. Instability in one place can have far-reaching consequences. But bringing back biodiversity will help build ecological resilience, making Earth's natural systems stronger as we race to cut emissions. To succeed, we need not only biological diversity, but also a diversity of thought. By combining traditional knowledge with cutting-edge science, we will be better prepared for a fast-changing future on our beautiful, dynamic planet.
This program is available with PBS Passport and on Amazon Prime Video.
This program was made possible in part by a grant from Anne Ray Foundation, a Margaret A. Cargill philanthropy, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're watching PBS, America's home for documentaries.
The summer before I turned 10, there was only one thing I wanted. a cherry red Mongoose freestyle BMX bike with red and black knobby tires. And this was the most crucial part. It needed to have a black and white checkerboard padded cover for the handlebars. That summer, it seemed every kid was rolling up on a BMX bike. And I would just watch them. They'd be in the infield building ramps and practicing papa wheelies. And it seemed by the virtue of just having this bike, they had everything I wanted in life. I didn't think I was gonna get this bike. My parents were divorced. But then one night, my dad came to take my little sister and I out to dinner, as he did every Wednesday. And as he dropped us off, he said, "Oh, Stacy, I'm bringing you a bike next week." And my heart leapt with joy. But then he said, "I'm getting it from work." You know, I really wanted a Mongoose bike. That was a brand that brought a kid a lot of cred. So I bring it down to campus and I rode it to my classes the next day. And everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh my God, that bike is so cool." And I'm just like, I know.
As a film editor, every little detail on the screen is important to me. And then after decades, the ophthalmologist said, "You're losing your central vision." My sight. There's no cure. I can't give up this trying to see. Who am I without the visual world?
But then the day came with the news that shook me to my core. You are a good candidate for a heart transplant.
I was finally going to be an independent woman in my motherland without my mother.
And so I pick up the card, and inside it reads, "Will you marry me?" And I think, not bad.
Welcome to Laura Flanders and Friends, the place where the people who say it can't be done take a back seat to the people who are doing it.
This is how change happens in this country, when vast numbers of people come together and defend a vision of the future.
If we do nothing, we'll be looking at apartheid in America.
Learning about the past has really no value if you're not going to apply it for a better future.
I'm David Weston. Join me each week on Wall Street Week for stories of capitalism from business, markets, economics, tech, and climate. We go on the road for a look at what lies behind the headlines of today and what will likely be the headlines tomorrow.
We need more transparency.
Oil and gas is still important.
They said every citizen should be investing in the market.
Accelerate progress in all fields of science.
Watch Wall Street Week right here on World. More than what you need to know, it's what you need to think about.
If you take a moment, you can see the world change.
Massive attacks using missiles and drones.
Stories that link all of us. Make sense of our lives. So we can move forward. Widening horizons.
Next time on Stories from the Stage, Meant to Happen.
Since I walked up the 11 floors to his apartment that viewed all of Boston Common, I knew I had met my husband.
And I feel the tension in the room skyrocket. This is either about to be the most awkward experience of my life or the most romantic.
But I did see this man with snow white beard and sparkling blue eyes, and I thought, oh my goodness, he is handsome.
Civilizations was made possible in part by a grant from Anne Ray Foundation and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
In the 15th and 16th centuries, domes appeared everywhere, constellations of them. They were the work of mortals. But humanity was becoming the center of its own universe. And artists and architects began to emulate the achievements of the classical past. Today in the West, that cultural phenomenon is described by the word Renaissance. Yet too often we think of Renaissance as something that was, if not exclusively Italian, then exclusively European.
But if we want to feel the pulse of one of those great moments, the surge of inventiveness when civilization bounded forward, we need to look much further than that. We need to look east.
Through the centuries that followed, the outpouring of creativity would flow both ways, between Islamic East and Christian West. And the role of the artist at both ends of these exchanges would be changed forever. The year is 1550. 1,000 miles apart, two old men, Michelangelo in Rome and Mimar Sinan in Ottoman Istanbul, both of them famous architects, are competing for the same prize. To outdo what for 1,000 years has been regarded as the greatest house of God in the world, the Hagia Sophia. Built in AD 537, the Greek Orthodox Basilica was the greatest architectural achievement of the early Christian church. Its dome, wrote one scholar, seemed not to be founded on masonry, but suspended from heaven itself. When the Ottoman Turks conquered Constantinople in 1453, instead of demolishing the Hagia Sophia, they converted it into a mosque.
I often think of the Renaissance as something which is the outcome of the Ottoman Empire taking the Byzantine capital of Constantinople in 1453. Once that happens, Christendom is in a very different space, that it's trying to compete with the Islamic world. And that again drives certain forces which are deeply creative, although they're also politically and imperially antagonistic and conflicted. That's always how creativity works. It's about those different fusions.